Alright, now we're working on transformations again, more reflections. In our last set we were reflecting shapes across either the axes, or we were reflecting them across lines like this, y equals 2, or across the line y equals x, or y equals negative x, which were two diagonal lines passing through the origin. Here, we're going to be I give you one point and the description, and you got to figure out what the coordinates of the new point are. So let's take a look here. I think it helps to kind of draw a little picture here. Okay, so here's our coordinate plane. Here's our point, -1, 3, and here's our line, y equals 2. Okay. So this line, let's figure out how far away is this point from this line, because it's going to get reflected down here and its image will be directly below it. And the x-coordinate's not going to change, so let's just leave that as -1. The y-coordinate is one space from the line of reflection, so its image will be one space in the other direction. So 3, 2, 1. The y-coordinate will be 1. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Alright, I'll do one more. Here, helps again, draw yourself, have a diagram, the point 4, -2, here somewhere. The line x equals 2, it's kind of like halfway between, okay. Vertical line passing through the point 2 here. Now the y-coordinate, the -2, isn't going to change when we go across here. So k prime is still going to have a -2 for a y-coordinate. But the x-coordinate, well, the original is two spaces from the line, so the new x-coordinate, k for k prime, will be two spaces in the other direction. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 0, -2. All right? So I think it's a good idea to go ahead and just draw yourself a real rough sketch to get an idea of where these points and lines are before you try and do the reflections, rotations, or sorry, these are just reflections. All right, let's take a look at the back side here. All right, and here we're going to write a rule to describe each transformation. Now, our rule, just like we did with translations, starts out with xy gets mapped to something. Now, one thing here is with a single point, we could pretty much write a variety of different rules, because it's hard to tell from only one moving point what exactly was done. It could have been several different things, but in this case, scratch this off, these are all reflections. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some rules to pick from. Okay, one rule is xy gets mapped to -x, y. So when you just take the x-coordinate and you make it negative, this is across the y-axis. You flipped it across the y-axis. Another rule is across the x-axis. In that case, you have xy gets mapped to x, -y. Alright, another one is across y equals x. And in this case, the rule is xy gets mapped to yx. So basically just flip the positions of the two coordinates. And then finally, we've got across y equals -x. Oh, sorry, interruption there. Okay. Across y equals -x, you have xy gets mapped to -y, -x. Now, what this means, to be clear here, is across the y-axis, whatever the x-coordinate was originally, you change its sign. It doesn't mean that the x-coordinate always becomes negative. So say, for example, +5 would become negative 5. But negative 5 would become positive 5. Here, same deal. If the y-coordinate were, say, 2, yeah, it would become a negative 2. But if the original y-coordinate were a negative 2, it would become a positive 2. The sign changes. That's what this rule means. Here, it just means that they flip. And here, it means that you flip them and they both change signs. So if, say, the original x were a negative 2, then the new y-coordinate would be a positive 2. It would change sign and move into the other coordinates position. Okay, so let's take a look here. It appears as though 1 has gone over here and become negative, and the 0 has gone over here, and since there's no negative 0, I would say this would have to be the last rule. They switch positions and change signs. So this is negative y, negative x, across y equals negative x. Okay. Let's look at the one next door here. Here, you can see, well, they're both 2's, and they're originally negative. They're both 2's, and they're originally positive. So it looks like the rule xy went to, they just flipped positions. Of course, it's not obvious, but I mean, because of the same numbers, but this looks like what happened. They flipped positions, and they both changed signs. So we went from y equals, so to negative y, negative x. Okay. All right, so see if you can figure the rest of these out. You've got your 4 rules to choose from. Good luck.